It's Aaron and Simon with Assets and Arbitrage. We already got some cousins in the chat. Cousin T Willline and cousin Shango. We appreciate you guys so much.
Yes, indeed. Yes, we do. We definitely appreciate that that support that you guys give us, and we don't want that ever to be
Taken for granted
or overlooked. So yes, indeed. Thank you very much for showing up. We got a interesting show. We're gonna go over some stuff, and then we're gonna top up game with the family and see what you guys think.
First, let me give the king his throne, because I need to be over here anyway.
Baby. She took my good chair.
I get to use the chair when I'm setting up.
She made me sit in the baby chair. So all right, I'll sit in the good chair now. Oh man. It's nice. It must be nice sitting over here.
Oh, you be quiet. You got me doing all the work to set the show up. Baby, but just yet. I don't want to accidentally step on your foot because I got my peekaboo heels on. It's going to hurt. Okay, y'all. I had to give the king his throne. So, today we're going to do a little bit of coverage on the watch list. Hopefully you guys have a watch list set up on your phones, iPads, tablets, whatever devices you use that you stay connected to the world and to all things crypto and Bitcoin.
Yes.
Did you want to do the podcast? Not the podcast, the productivity segment.
Oh, we do. We will do that. But as we start, stay stacking, stay stacking, stay stacking. We're going to be stacking Satoshis. We're going to be stacking ounces. Anything else, anything else you might be out. A lot of people like real estate. What else do they like? FANG stocks, things of these natures. Stay stacking. Even though you guys may not like it, stay stacking in your 401ks, especially if it's employer match. We need to bring that up more often because there is some leverage that you can have with employer match 401ks as far as being able to borrow against it. And, we're not financial advisors, but there's some leverage there. So we may talk about that one day or you guys may already know about it. So yeah, stay stacking in those 401ks as well. As you get up and go to work every day, they're going to put money into it. As you put into it, that's free money. So don't let people tell you that 401k is for suckers. If they're not matching,
then yes, it is.
Now,
then it's for suckers. That's so funny.
But yeah, don't let them tell you that, man. So stay diligent, man. Stay diligent, disciplined head down. Nose to the grindstone is what they used to tell us when I was growing up. So stay stacking, diligent. You'll get there. You'll get there. I'm telling you, you'll get there.
I would even kind of piggyback off of that. And for those of you who don't have an emergency cash fund for you to tap into, you should maybe start dollar cost averaging that, right? Nobody's telling you to come up with $3,000 today, but maybe find somewhere safe in your home, create something safe, and $20, put a $50 bill in there, put a $100 bill in there, put a $5 bill in there, and just keep dollar cost averaging, in a sense, your way into your emergency fund. Because you just never know. And you should always have that, whether you're single, like just by yourself, but especially if you have people who rely on you, if you have obligations, that should be mandatory. And moving forward, when Baby Cakes does his stacking announcement, we're going to remember to remind them to, be putting away for that emergency fund. They said that the average American can't touch $200 in an emergency. And that's terrible, especially since $200 now is like $50.
And they mean like immediately.
They mean like right now, you're $200 in the negative.
Camera's okay.
Yeah, camera's fine,
I'm just
baby.
going to clean the camera, you all. Excuse me.
It was clean. I cleaned it. It was clean. Can I have my water?
Yeah, so have your emergency fund set together, or at least something you can tap into. We gotta be ready for everything out here. The United States is, I suppose, this is where most of you all live in the United States. It's crumbling. It's crumbling, and maybe because you are immersed inside of it, that you might not see how bad it's crumbling from the outside, from a geopolitical standpoint or macroeconomic standpoint. So be prepared. Be prepared for anything. You might have that emergency fund. So good a friend of the show, Andrew Henderson, who does Nomad Capitalist, he did his show, I believe, 2 days ago, right? Was that yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about people who are patriotic, right? We're patriotic. We're patriots, right? I figure we're patriots. I served in the military. I served in 2 war campaigns.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, so we're patriots. I wore a flag on my uniform every day I went to work, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
So we're patriots. And they try to say, oh, you guys are running from the problem. I said, no, we're being strategic. But we're being strategic ahead of the fact before it gets too bad that you have to run from the problem. And that is what Andrew Henderson said from nomadcapitalist.com. So check him out. You know, he's got great information. He's got great podcast. Now he is dealing with Deca Millionaires. So, you know, just glean what you can from what he has to say. You know, it's not really places that we're in right now. Not yet, y'all. But he does have good information that can reach out to all of us.
That transcends socioeconomics.
Yeah, so so check that out. You don't want to be running because you have to, right? These people are running to the United States because they have to, because it's so bad in their countries. You want to get ahead of this thing.
Mm-hmm.
You want to get ahead of this thing, and like I said, that's why you plant flags, so that if something goes wrong in the country, that is your home country, you have some kind of places where you can move around that you've already planned. You already built some, you know, some situations there. You know, you can build some relationships with some people there. So you want to have that. That's just like business 101, right? Yeah, you're building relationships. What are you doing? Yeah.
Physical social networking and flag planting.
Flag planting. So you want to be doing that. And it doesn't have to be broad. You don't have to go all the way to Asia. It could just be close. It could just be on your hemisphere. You know, within the Caribbean islands. Say you want to plant flags. If you have some kind of lineage back to different countries, you can plant flags there. Maybe you have some family members there who have some business, and you start just moving and shaking, man. That's what we do. Go ahead, read them. I know something silly.
Yeah. So T. Willine, and you know, cousin T. Willine cracked me up. I'm calling cousin T. Cousin T said, "What about us broke folk? This UBI thing needs to hurry up because I need my money." So for your emergency fund, cousin T. Willine, you can determine what that should be, even if you.
Yeah, it's nothing.
So I'm going to call it, even if you acorned it, meaning when you go out, you spend your money for the day, you come home, you take your wallet out your pocket, the loose change, the singles maybe only. Put that, like I said, in a box, in a cup, in a jar, you know, somewhere safe, right? So if you have company over, they don't see it and it's gone.
Yeah, how we did it back in the day, it was an old tall top Folgers can.
Folgers, yeah. I don't know if they still have those.
With a little slit right there. Mm-hmm. You just put your coinage in there. That's right. Old school. I'm showing my age. I know what I'm talking about.
So maybe determine something like that. Like right now, my budget's pretty tight. So no 5s, no 10s, no 20s, no 50s, no 100s. Solely singles and loose change. And I'm going to put it in this can. And you're going to be surprised, cousin T, over the next 30 days, if you're consistent with it, if you stick with it, if you make like a hard rule, like this is what I'm doing. Another thing that Simon and I used to do when we were a young couple and we had Sean, if we skipped a lunch, if we went, like if our job catered lunch for us, or if somehow, some way, whatever we were going to spend that day ended up getting skipped, we would put that in our Folgers jar.
In the Folgers jar, we had
I didn't get my Starbucks this morning.
So what we had a giant, it looks like a bottle.
Mm-hmm.
We got it from a baby shower.
Oh yeah, I do remember. It was the baby bottle, yeah.
With the top on it, but it had a slit, and you're supposed to save money for the baby. It was a little piggy bank. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like a piggy bank, but it was giant. We used to put our change in there. So
and
like
go ahead, baby.
Like she said, if we skip a lunch or something, a Starbucks, if I only had to buy her a 6-pack of Miller Lite that night.
Oh my God.
So we could say that extra.
Such a liar.
So we would put that in there.
Such a liar.
And then we had some money.
Yeah, so, and we had determined at the time we were going to do loose change, ones and fives.
Yeah.
So no 10s, no 20s, no 50s, no hundreds. But like I said, sometimes Simon will come home and be like, I didn't get to go to lunch today. So he'll take out whatever, the $7.50 or whatever he would have spent on lunch, and he'll put that in there. So when we did see 10s or 20s or something like that in there, it was because we did skip something that day, and that thing grew so fast. And we just made it don't go in it, don't touch it for anything unless it just absolutely. And then it was a great fund for diapers, emergency fund for diapers, and it was a great emergency fund for formula.
Yeah, that mug got heavy too when we cashed it out.
Yes, so it took about what, babe, like 2 months, because the bills kind of take up the volume. So we used to cash it out about every 2 months.
Yeah, and you would get a nice little. We used to cash it out at a place called
was it Albertsons?
Albertsons, and they give you like a little check, and then you would take it to the front desk. You guys know.
And the cashier would give you.
But
it also had dollars in it and stuff.
Now you take the dollars out,
mm-hmm.
but they would tax you, on the coinage.
It was 10%.
Yeah, they was taxing you. But I mean, it's a way to put something away. Acorn it, like she said, you guys are familiar with Acorn.
And we were doing that before Acorn.
Yeah, and you put your little spare change in Acorn, then you got a little something. So yeah, always be stacking.
And we did that for years, and they were great little bonuses, right? So
stacking that matter. You could be stacking pennies, but you stacking.
That's why we said we're gonna make sure we add that to your stacking announcement. Mm-hmm. That we're gonna play a little game. Hopefully you guys do participate. We're trying to want to play a game.
Yeah.
We want to find ways to encourage you to take action, to implement some of the things we do on the show. And we thought it would be a fun game if we did a little segment every show called Productivity Points. So what we're going to do moving forward is we're going to add a productivity point for you guys, and then we'll assign points to it. So we're hoping that over time, you guys would add the points up and say, hey, I got 375 points right now. And it's a great way for you to celebrate yourself, for you to benchmark your progress, for your cousins to be motivated by what you're doing. We're trying to kind of build a community, but really push our cousins into action. Right? It's great to watch these shows. You feel inspired when you hear the information. You feel inspired when you hear other people's experiences, their expertise in certain things. But you don't want to walk away from it just inspired. You want to walk away from it feeling ambitious and ready to get into action. And while we talk about a plethora of things on this show, we really want for the cousins to be able to reach in, to tap in, and be able to pull something off of the table that we talked about that they can implement in their life and experience what we're going to trademark this, y'all, and experience those significant beneficial outcomes. We're going to call them SBOs. I'm going to trademark it. Don't copy me, copywritten. And that's what the goal is for this show, right? The goal for this show is for you to experience significant beneficial outcomes. So the productivity point of the day is to start stacking your emergency fund. Now, for those of you who already have an emergency fund of $1,000 or more, go ahead and give yourself 100 points. For those of you who need to get started, if you write this down, like as a reminder, to remind yourself to get stacking that emergency fund, right? That's 1 point.
Okay.
Every day that you actually get started, right?
Okay.
Give yourself 3 points.
Sounds good.
And today is May 8th. We're going to come back at the end of the month, right? At the last show that we do for the month. And we want to know how many points you guys have racked up in your emergency stacking fund.
Okay.
Bubba's got me a little.
No, I was checking something for Aaron just to make sure that we are ready to go with the information of the show. Sorry, guys.
Oh no, we're in Chrome. That's what's throwing you off.
No, I had to come over here to see what they got going on.
¿Por qué?
Oh, just making sure that everything. Okay, all right, that looks good. That's good. We ready to go, y'all. We ready to go.
So, 1 point for writing it down as a reminder, and this is standard, right? You get 1 point for writing it down as a reminder. You get 3 points every single day you take action. Okay? And then we want to see where you are. Today is the 8th. Even though it's not a full month, we want to see where you are at the end of the month. When we do our next show, we'll give you a point for writing it down as a reminder. You're going to get 3 points every day that you're able to participate and do something. And then at the end of the month, we're going to check in. Right? So we'll keep giving you guys those reminders.
Yeah, and it's just really what it's going to be is it's kind of like having accountability partners.
Yeah.
To see, make sure you're doing, what you have to do every day. Little one step. And it'll really get you forward. And so we'll just stay on top of each other. Like, hey, you got a couple points, and it also makes it fun, as she would say.
And we want to build habits. We want to build good habits, and we want to start to eliminate and reduce poor habits. We want to eliminate and reduce poor thinking, poor mindset. We want to be able to establish and grow growth mindsets. So as we're doing this show, I know you guys really enjoy the banter. We crazy, y'all, just crazy. And then we're nerds. So there's that eclectic part to it, right? So weird. But we really, as a family, and you guys know that I take nation building very seriously. You guys are not my children, but I do consider you family. We want to see action, action, action. We want you guys, and these are what we call micro actions.
Yes.
Right? And you would be shocked, just like dollar cost averaging can walk you into wealth, micro actions walk you into the biggest, best, significant, beneficial outcomes. And that's what it's all about, right? Outcomes that benefit you, that are significant to your quality of life, that are significant to the quality of life of those that you are responsible for, that you have obligations to. And it all around affects your life portfolio, right? Right down to your mental health. It reduces and it eliminates anxiety, fear, irritability, poor outlooks, myopic outlooks. It widens your world lens. It gives you more experience. It gives you confidence to move on and do bigger things. So it's a very comprehensive outcome that you receive in doing a small thing.
And we're going to do a show on that, mental health and Bitcoin. So we're going to do a show on mental health and Bitcoin. For you people out there, I know Bitcoin sometimes can be a space where we talked about where people are shaming you for not knowing certain things or, not having your coinage stack up. So, it's kind of like Bitcoin snobs, I call them sometimes. But if
Bitcoin bitches, no, that.
Yeah, so sometimes if you get amongst Bitcoiners in like real life,
Sometimes you can be turned on.
Yeah, there's different energy, and you're like, oh, okay, this is what this is. So that's why they are trying to create these communities like Bitcoin Beach, Bitcoin Jungle, Bitcoin River down in Central America. These places that are, if you're a Bitcoiner, then we take you in, right? It don't matter, anything else, and that's kind of. That's kind of the environment that we like to be on, investing, building wealth, building community. We have young men, and that's part of building the community, right? So we have to make sure we put out young men who can go out there and continue with our mission was and continue to build. So I don't want to get too far off the thing. We got a few people in the room. We want to get into it. We got some articles. We got to rock. You want to go ahead and read what a couple people said? Yeah.
Bitcoin Shango said the UBI probably going to hit where he is in California first. Sometimes he thinks that the people in charge in California volunteering all the time for the new stuff socioeconomically. I would agree with that. They
see
like
that.
to be known for their innovation and their open-mindedness, so they do volunteer for stuff. It's also one of the states that have extremely high cost of living.
Yeah.
Um, so I could see that being rolled out as a pilot there.
Mm-hmm.
T. Willine said, I can't move to California. I don't have a Tesla to sleep in. It's hard out here. Agreed. Bitcoin Shango, this is to your comment when you said we're patriots and I said Mas o menos. he served and he
Yeah.
remembers what the country was supposed to be, but
Yep.
no, he doesn't like where we are now. So flag theory activate. I agree with that.
But I still keep a blue passport. I have not gotten rid of my, because some people will take it all the way where they will renounce their citizenship and take on a new citizenship. So I haven't taken it there. That's all the way with somewhere like our friend Andrew Henderson has. He's renounced his United States Henderson, and he has. I don't know. He has a whole bunch of passports at this point, but he's not a U.S. citizen anymore. And that's for tax reasons.
Taxation, yep.
That's for tax reasons
I
at
was
this
gonna
point
say
because he got all this money, so they will tax you to death. This is one of the only two countries, United States and Eritrea, that tax you no matter where you go. Right? If you're from Spain and then you live in another country for 3 years, they don't ask you to pay taxes in Spain because why? And they will release you from that tax obligation. And that's just I'm just using Spain. You could be from France, you could be from Argentina, you could be from Nicaragua. They will release you from that tax burden. If you no longer live in that country over a certain amount of days per year, they cannot tax you as a citizen who lives there, except Eritrea and the United States. So that's why a lot of people fight so hard, who people who have money fight so hard to find tax loopholes and try to use it to their advantage because the United States will tax you, will chase you the whole around the globe, taxing, and they say, oh, but you have access to the embassy and things like that. But I mean, nobody. So it's hard, and people say you're running from taxes, but you just have to use loopholes because you don't need to be taxed if you don't live there.
Cousin Shango said I was thinking of looking up Ghana and Nigeria to get closer to roots, but Nigeria's on one right now, so he may as well stay in the U.S. and get taxed to death. Hi, Crip Work. Thank you so much for joining us, love.
Shango, Bitcoin Shango, if you don't mind me asking, do you have, as far as lineage roots, back to the continent of Africa? If you don't mind me asking, just wondered because there's a lot of places that you could go, but if you really want to get back to somewhere where you have roots and stuff like that, I understand. So if you don't mind letting me know, but go ahead.
Cousin Shango also said that he watched a movie called Fresh back in the 90s.
That's my movie.
The little boy, he was a dope dealer and he had hella cash in his Folgers can. I remember Fresh.
Folgers can. You know about the coffee can. I told you I showed my age.
Cousin L1L, thank you so much for joining us.
What's up, cousin?
We hope you have safe travels in your
sir.
day-to-day job.
Yes, sir.
He said he likes the loose change idea. He hardly uses cash. Well, this is what we would say, maybe once a week, go out of your way to use cash or just go out of your way to withdraw some money to put in your can or wherever it is, whatever it is you're holding, right? Go ahead and maybe once a week, make a concerted effort to put something into your holding.
Yeah. And like we said, you can use Acorn. We use Acorn for years. Just put your cash away that you spend on your card. Like, it's called roundups. If you guys know, I'm familiar, roundups.
From
so
Acorn,
I say you spend $4.60, it'll round that 40 cents up and put it away for you.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like you went and bought like a soda and some chips, and then you just keep it at a certain percentage and it'll round up anything you went to get some gas. It'll round it up. You got $25.40.
Whatever the change is, it will take it and hold it.
It'll round up. So it's good too. Acorn, check Acorn out. And it comes with a card so that you use it when you want to.
A nice metal one.
Yeah, a nice metal one. If you want to cash out, it puts it into like a diversified portfolio, and then you can go in there and check the portfolio and then pick. It'll give you a diversified one, but if you want to be more aggressive, it lets you get more aggressive. If you want to be more, risk averse, it gives you that ability as well. So check out Acorn, Brother L1L, if you don't already know about it. If you don't use cash that much, you could use it that way too.
That might be more beneficial. But we are we're in the habit of saying be your own bank, right? And whenever we say be your own anything and we want to take the control out of their hands and put it back in our own hands, it requires commitment, consistency, discipline, sacrifice. And those are good muscles to exercise. If Acorn's easier for you, please absolutely do it. But making the concerted effort to do your, to do your coffer, just as how you would make your concerted effort to dollar cost average your Bitcoin, dollar cost average your precious metals. Right now, we want to know that our cousins can tap into some cash right now if they needed to.
Yeah, so we got to, and that's a community we need to build. And we also want to teach the youngins to do that, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, folders can.
Go ahead, baby.
Come back. Go ahead.
Cousin Shango said he used to have that when he was little, but then when Super Nintendo came out and Sega Genesis, his money was gone. Probably buying the games.
That's funny.
Cousin L said traveling across the country, misses out on playing the lottery machines all the time. Whatever you would have put in that lottery machine, please put in your coffer.
Or somewhere.
Thank you. Sign management. Please. Folger still has the can as plastic now. That works.
Yeah, it is plastic now. That's because it was metal. It was rough. You guys remember the top would rust around.
It was aluminum or something, wasn't it?
But it would rust around the rim after a while. Yeah.
But the plastic one works just as well. A lot longer.
I can say if you're still drinking coffee.
And you won't get tetanus. Cousin T. Willine said he got 375 Satoshis. Keep stacking.
That's good.
Go ahead, babe.
When you're on the free stack, you know about fold and all that. Because the sequel, where you can get some free Satoshis with the fold card and all that. And those are things where you can get other Satoshis. I tell you guys about Sun Exchange, where you get Satoshis from the sun. And
it's generating the electricity, and then they're always in the positive. Yeah. So, but that is real low time preference. We're talking
that is low time
10
preference
to 15 to 20 year.
For our people out here, that is an investment into the continent of Africa.
Yes.
So if you want to invest in Africa, this is a way that you can.
The Sun Exchange.
And it helps the community of Africa. It helps because a lot of times it's with senior citizen homes. It'll be with schools. And things like that. So, you can invest in the continent of Africa through the Sun Exchange. And, we deal with the Sun Exchange. They have great, you can reach people. What do you call that?
What, baby?
I don't know.
What do you mean reach people?
You can reach the people in the Sun Exchange, even they're going to be.
You can contact them, yeah.
Yeah, they'll help you to work with you. You're going to have to go through the RAND, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I have to go through the South African RAND. And so it's a good spot. It's a good thing to just throw out there. Like she said, that's very low time preference.
Very low.
But it's there. They put the excess Bitcoin into a wallet. Mm-hmm. You can take it out of their wallet that they hold and put it into your wallet. And then if you feel comfortable like that, or you can cash it out into fiat currency if need be, or just because you want to.
Crip Work, so you guys keep me mindful of a lot of things, and I say thank you.
Thank you.
So you're welcome, sweetheart. Cousin T out here with his jokes. How many points do we need to raise to get y'all a second monitor? Ha ha ha.
I don't get it.
Just showing the articles and stuff like that.
Oh, so I've been trying to get this dual monitor, to be honest with you, and they won't ship here to Mexico, so that's okay. But so we work with what we got. But I know what you mean. I tried to get the TV set up. Our son, he knows how to do it, but Erin, she says it's too much of a production.
It is a huge production.
She don't want to do it. So. That's on her.
Bitcoin Shango's got 1 point already, so congratulations. Right, he wrote it down. He set up a reminder. Cousin T. Willine is just trying to help us out, just trying to help his cousins out. He said he's older than us, and he's glad to see a young Black family moving the bar up. So thank you, Cousin T. Willine.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, we have someone new in the room. I hope I don't say it right. Is it Ayo Doja? I hope I'm saying it right. Who's reminding you guys to stack H bar because it's under 10 cents. We have H bar.
H bar header.
Hedera hash graph.
So shout out to the OG Mike Maloney,
Mm-hmm.
who in the Hidden Secrets of Money was putting us on the game, and this was 2014.
Oh yeah, it was
To header hash graph. He was talking about header hash graph in 2014, mm-hmm. and we was like, "What is this?" But it was like some kind of technology. How he was breaking it down.
It was the beginning of the concept of tokenizing.
Yeah. So
real property.
Yeah. So Mike Maloney was on top of that. We watched that Secrets of Money from 2014, and we've seen it grow. So yeah, we are definitely big fans of H bar. Shout out to the Chief; he's an H bar fan.
Yes.
So yes, H bar. It's under 10 cent. That's a good price. That's a good price. Good price. And so but I'm not a financial advisor.
So Cousin Shango wants to tell Cousin T that he appreciates everything he does. I love when the cousins chat and encourage each other and the insights that he shares. He says that the Simon family gets him proud too because we are living the dream that he's working towards.
There we go.
Come visit Cousin Shango so we can really talk and show you some things.
Okay.
Let freedom ring. I always gotta applaud him. We 151 shows in. Let Freedom Ring been with us since single digit shows. And I never want to take that type of support for granted. We appreciate you so much. The loose change idea is great and been using it for years. So go on and just retroactive your points. Cousin Jake said, put all your money in Bitcoin. You won't regret it in 4 years. You won't, but you still should have some type of cash reserve. As we will call a treasury reserve asset, physical, it is liquid right now for you to tap into. It doesn't have to be much. Some people want 5,000. We're a large family. We have to have something like that online. Smaller units of family, single people, maybe 500, maybe 200, maybe 250.
We have 4 rowdy boys, and
they're not rowdy.
On any day of the week, somebody could break an arm.
God forbid.
And you know how it is. We grew up, man. We broke some, busting nose, all this stuff. And here you got to cash out because we had some health insurance, but people aren't taking it. They want cash money. So if somebody break an arm, twist an ankle, whatever, something happened, and you got to go to the hospital, you just got to cash them out. So you got to be ready. That conversely goes for us, being who are older. So if we have to go to the hospital, it's going to be a little more serious, right? It'll be a little more serious. It's going to cost a little bit more. You get old up in age, and you might have some chest pain or something like that, or trouble breathing. You know how it is when we get older. Stuff just hits us, and so you got to cash that out. So have that ready, especially. And keep that in mind for people who are thinking about moving abroad. Make sure you got your money ready for your healthcare situation. Got to have that ready. Got to have that ready at all times, especially if you have chronic illnesses that will need continual treatment. If you have something that's this happened, car accident can happen, anything can happen. Right?
But you should have that as well because co-pays are extremely expensive in the U.S. So you still need to have some type of cash reserve. Obviously, if you go to emergency room, you don't have to give them any cash or anything. But if you had to do significant follow-up care, that's when your cash reserve is going to mean something. So while you're doing the reminder and you're giving yourself that point for reminding yourself to get started stacking your cash reserve, right? Set a reminder to begin planning or establishing your economic policy for you or for your household, depending on what your obligations are within the household. Like I said, we were a large family, so we set that economic policy for 5,000. You got to be able to touch it at any point in time. If it's just you, or if it's just you and your wife, depending, and you're younger, maybe your cash reserve just needs to be 250.
So
maybe it needs to be 150 for right now, depending on how tight your budget is. But set a reminder that I'm going to sit down on my next day off, whatever that day is, and I'm going to establish my economic policy. This is my outlook for what my cash reserves looks like. This is what I would like to do in Bitcoin this year, how much I would like to maybe dollar cost average for the year, or how I want to do it.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be a number, but you can say, I want a dollar cost average once a month. I want a dollar cost average every 2 weeks. I want a dollar cost average weekly. Cousin Timadon, I don't know if he's on right now. He graduated from dollar cost averaging weekly
Okay.
to daily.
Yeah.
And that's a big deal. It's not a lot of money every day, but it's consistent. And that's going to grow incredibly.
It is. And if you are inspired about it, words that she speaks about, the point system and all that, you can get started like today, tomorrow, if you want.
Start today.
But if you want to, some people, you want to make it clean, July 1st will be the start of third quarter. Quarter three. So if you want to really get to it, July 1st, quarter three, then you really start it. You really hit the ground running right there. Quarter three, knock it out. Quarter four, right? You have a situation I like to talk about before we get into the articles, about 6 months, what you were telling me about the other day.
So we're trying to do assessments, and the question or the prompt that came up was, where do you see yourself in 6 months? That's a very open-ended question. It's very generalized. So what Simon and I did was we sat down and we selected the life areas. So career, social networking, family, health, emotional, investments or financial. And we named all of these different life areas that matter to us right now within the next 6 months. And then we sat down and wrote, idealistically, if we can do everything we wanted to do in the next 6 months, what would they be? And we sat down and we listed them out. Took us a couple hours, probably took about, 3.5 hours?
Yeah, on and off.
On and off, right? Just kind of thinking about it, doing stuff, thinking about it. And then we reviewed it this morning. So I'm not asking you guys to do that yet. We'll get to that point soon enough. We want to take baby steps as we're building these habits, right? Simon and I have been doing productivity for years. So we do these big projects and assessments and examinations and executions. And, because we always tell you guys we're scientists, we like to run experiments. We like to go out in the field, run a real experiment, analyze the data, what went wrong, what went right, what was the control, what were the variables, what do we need to change? Do we need to change the control? Do we need to change the variables? We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that part.
But we want to baby step you right now. So you want to earn a point. Sorry, go ahead.
I said we'll walk you into quarter three. As we get there, then we'll get to quarter three, jumping off July 1st. Quarter three, quarter four, we're going to end the year strong.
Right.
That's what we want.
So today's homework is, right, what is my emergency fund going to look like? I'm going to set a reminder to get started. Tomorrow's the day, right? Even if it's a penny, put something in there. And then your second homework assignment is on your next day off, you are going to plan your economic policy for your house.
Yeah. So that's
idealistically.
That's tough. That's a longer, that's a bigger problem.
That's why I said on your day off, your next day off. But it's what you have, right? So you want to say, okay, emergency fund, check. I'm going to do that.
So
Bitcoin, check. Maybe your inventory for your altcoins, if you have them. Maybe call whoever runs your 401k and find out what's in there. If you work somewhere and you're like, I'm not even enrolled in something like that, maybe your homework for establishing your economic policy is figuring out what the benefit is and contacting them to see how you can get enrolled, right? But trying to find a way to just kind of sketch out what the economic policy is going to be from now until the end of the year. What you would like to do, maybe what you have already. It could be something as simple as thinking about the way you spend. People who overspend know that they overspend.
Yeah, people, you have risk averse assessment. So, it has something to do with how much you made, your age, what you already have, what you're trying to get to. So you have to have that assessment with licensed financial advisors. We are not, but we will give you good game on things that you can do and people you can reach out to.
Right.
So,
and you can always reach out to us. We're not financial advisors, but we've been doing the productivity for a long time. We can walk you through the micro steps you need to take to get started. But it could be as simple as knowing I spend too much money on Amazon.
Yeah, so we got
right. I spend too much money on Starbucks. I spend too much money in buying Jordans. I spend too much money eating out. I spend too much money at the casino.
Yeah, let's see what
cousin Shango is. He does have roots, Nigeria, Ghana, and Cameroon.
Okay, so you want to get back to those areas,
or at least look into them.
Yeah, you know, they had to Ghana, return to Ghana in 2020. I'm sure you are very familiar with that. Like we said, so where are you going to go? Nigeria is going to be Lagos, pretty much. Ghana is going to be Accra, Cameroon. I can't remember the large city of Cameroon. Help me, brother. You know, but you want to baby step it. If you're not, you don't want to just pack up, like, man, sit down. I'm here. You know, go over there for if you can for a week or two, or maybe a month.
That's a long flight for a week.
Gotta be a long.
You should plan at least. It's just such a long flight and so many layovers.
And just, you know, and like we said, travel with intention.
Yeah.
And get into the communities and see what's really going on, how people receive you, how you think, you know, little stuff. Where am I going to take my dry cleaning or get my clothes washed? Is there a dentist here? Whatever, just little stuff that I'm telling you, when you move to another place, that you didn't even keep in mind.
Now, I do want to, because we don't romanticize stuff. So I'm going to tell y'all cousins the real deal, right? Mm-hmm. Black countries, I don't care if they're Caribbean, if they're African, don't matter. You romanticize in your mind that as a Black person, when you go to these countries, you're going to be warmly welcomed. That is not true, right? I don't know what it is about Black people, but, you know.
Do you not know what it is?
I have an idea on what it is, but y'all know what I mean, right? It's unfortunate that you go to other countries and they welcome you warmly. They smile. They're genuinely happy to see you. I don't like to romanticize stuff, because what happens is that's the culture shock. Mug's been lying to you all the way through. Yeah. And then, you know, when you get there, you're just kind of like, well, damn. So just keep those things in mind. If you have money, they're going to go out of their way to do stuff for you. But as far as rolling out the red carpet and treating you like a king or a queen, no. Yeah. They already have a resentment because you are from the United States. You have financial opportunities they don't have access to. So it can be a bit off-putting.
It is. It's off-putting. Question to Bitcoin Shango. If you don't mind me asking, you know, I just ask questions. She get mad because I ask any questions. If you don't mind me asking, are you a Pan-Africanist? I just wondered.
Wait, don't keep going.
Oh wow, I didn't know what that means. This thing is acting crazy.
I know, I went from 35 to 18. Yes, I'm worried about that. So I want to welcome Shook Focus Digital. Thank you so much for joining us.
Shook ones. Come on, Shook ones.
Cryptonomics. Hey, cousin. So
what's up, Cryptonomics?
His bank changed ATM networks. He was able to get cash, but limited to only $200 in denominations of 20. He made 3 withdrawals that day because he normally takes out 1,000 at a time. I don't know who you bank with, but Chase Bank allows you to take 5,000 out at a time.
I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, I thought he said U.S. Bank. Correct me if I'm wrong.
He might have said that earlier.
Not today, but I think on another broadcast he mentioned U.S. Bank.
If it just saves you a bit of time, and then Chases are everywhere, so it might save you some drive. I'm not sure where you are, but yeah, Chase Bank allows you to take up to $5,000 US out of the ATM. Yeah. Critwork said that her idea is to be a minimalist, so your economic policy shouldn't take long to sketch out.
Yeah.
Right? Be quick.
And you know, I watch a lot of documentaries, y'all, because I get up in the middle of the night and I got to be quiet because the great queen is sleeping, so I have to be quiet. I can't make any noise. It's like shh. So I got my little headphones on. I'm listening, but I watch a lot of documentaries, and I watched a documentary about minimalism, and you know, and it's very interesting. And you know, and I said, man, it's actually a good way to live. You know, he got a certain amount. He had a certain amount of forks, spoons, knives, this, that.
But it's just him, right? You don't have a bunch of children.
No, he had a family, so
he does.
He had everything sketched out. Like we got 12 for this, that, And he had it sketched out to the. And this now he was in Asia somewhere.
Oh, okay.
And
That makes sense.
and I've seen a lot of stuff, but a lot of younger people coming up in their minimalism, and I don't disagree with that, because let me tell you something. When we moved to Mexico, we had a whole house that we had to get rid of, and we had to sell all the stuff, and it was hard. Like, you would think it wasn't hard, like when you sell something you had for a long time, and you're like, damn. But you want this? You only gonna give me $10 for it? Like, it was just like, But it was a good exercise, and it was cathartic. If I'm using the word correctly, it was cathartic, and you're like, dang, you got rid of this stuff that you didn't know that you had attachment to. I had to sell my lawnmower, and that sounds stupid, but I'm like, dang,
all the time he spent with his lawnmower, drinking his beer.
Like, damn, I don't want to sell my lawnmower.
Cold beer, hot day, mowing the lawn, good times together.
Yeah, I had to sell my rocking chair. I had to sell a lot of stuff that I didn't know meant so much to me.
My glider that I used to rock my babies.
Yeah, and so then when you flipped it and you got back into it, you say, oh, I'm going to have the least amount of stuff as possible, because you get weird attachments to stuff, man. I'm telling you, when you got to break down a home and try to move it somewhere, you get weird attachments to stuff you wouldn't even believe. So yeah, I'm on you with that being minimalist. I'm definitely on top of that. Yes.
Hi, Michelle. Thank you so much for joining. Cryptonomics said a local grocery store refuses to accept cash at the self-checkout, card only. Yeah, I know the U.S. is heavy on the cashlessness. Cousin Shango said, FYI, he put the paperwork in for the VA Farm Medical Program just in case.
Mm-hmm.
And you can skedaddle to Mexico. Just let us know when you're coming. We'll come get you and show you around and put you on the game.
I'm sorry, I missed that. If you can run that back for me, I'm sorry. I think I missed that.
He put the paperwork in for the VA Farm Medical Program.
Okay.
So that way he can skedaddle to Mexico.
Do you need to be near the VA is what I'm missing?
Yes. He mentioned that last year.
I mean, while you're here visiting.
Oh, let us know if it's that dire that you need to be close to the VA while you're here.
We know where that is, and we can stay right in that area.
Cryptonomics. Correction. I don't use a bank. I use a credit union. Gotcha. Cousin L1L, that's good to know. Cash for healthcare over there. Yes.
Yes.
Typically in most countries outside the United States. Now, travel insurance does work, but you need to know where does it work. And you guys know we live in the bush, right? In the West Indies, you got the city and the bush, right? And that's it. Maybe some jungle if you're in Guyana, right?
Yeah, they'll play games with you like they don't take it. They want your money.
Yeah. So it's cash. It's cash here. And we've mentioned on multiple shows that we really do live in a city. We don't live in a pueblo. I call it a pueblo. It's small to us, but it's the big city to them.
Yeah.
And it's heavy cash. Majority of the residents here are unbanked. So a lot of restaurants, retail stores, et cetera, it's cash only. Even the gas station only takes domestic cards. Like, it's Visa. Why doesn't it work? Because our machine isn't configured for dollars or configured for international payments. The gas station, that's crazy.
And this Pemex, for you guys who know how large of a corporation Pemex is globally, you know, Pemex is big as far as oil trade.
Yeah.
So they should be taking.
It's crazy. But when we get on the highway right there, which is more efficient use of getting the gas and using it, they use the card, no problem.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
We don't know.
Cousin L said he's going to research. Is it Blue Cross Blue Shield regarding coverage abroad?
Yes, that's definitely that's definitely something.
Big cousin Shango's welcoming his new cousin, Ship Focus Digital. Cousins, when we have new people in the room, I do love that y'all do that, that you welcome them too. We want to establish a community where y'all feel good. We want to establish a community where you guys feel protected, where you feel motivated.
Yeah, and I like the community that we're building. The community is built behind what we're talking about for us: Bitcoin, precious metals. There you go. The ability to have arbitrage. She's going. I guess she's going to check on her food. I don't know where she. But we also want to start talking about some different things that might be outside of Bitcoin, precious metals, and things like that. So we want to be able to do that. A lot of people want to talk about relationships, so I guess that's out there. Let me check. This is off. Hold on, I'm sorry. I don't have my glass. I don't have my readers. K crypto works. So hold on, I gotta scoot up. This is off topic, but as you mentioned in that show, Mr. Simon, I used to collect Hot Wheels. Oh my goodness, you want to see my Hot Wheel collection? I sold about 4,000 cars for Bitcoin, but I still have my treasure hunts. I love it. I love it. Crit work. I love it. Come on now, crit work. That's what's up. That's
This
all.
is just one table in my bedroom suite. One table in my bedroom suite. All in the box, all low mintage. He treats them like precious metals.
Yeah, I don't think. No, don't go over. Don't show my. You're gonna see somebody gonna come and kick in the door and rob me. She starts showing my Hot Wheels off. Yes, indeed, crypto work. That's what we got to do.
7 of 10, all low mintage. Yeah. That's just one table I took those off of. There's 6 tables in my bedroom suite.
I shop for Hot Wheels every day when I go out. Like we shop for food. I said, let me go see what Hot Wheels they got, and I try to see something. But yeah. I'm sorry, I had to
go get that.
I had to work.
I saw her.
Oh, you had already read it? Yep. I'm like, you was that like, girl.
So Cousin Shango said in 6 months he's still in school to get a degree to be classified as a high worth individual.
Okay.
To these Bitcoin friendly countries looking to entice U.S. talent.
Okay, that sounds good.
So you will be applying for the application in El Salvador, I hope. I'm definitely filling it out. Oh, Cousin Shango told me to wash my mouth out with soap because there's no such thing as spending too much on Amazon. Let me say that in his good ear. There's no such thing as spending too much on Amazon.
Yeah,
I feel like it's not computing.
Oh, man.
The flight to Africa is a monster. You definitely want to do at least 2+ weeks. He has no illusions about how he'd be treated. Great. A former NCOIC was Nigerian.
Hey, were you okay? Well, I ain't gonna keep that bothering about that.
Pan-Africanism is a very romantic idea. The reality is, a cold glass of bleach to his eyes is sobering and agonizing. I'm glad you don't romanticize it.
Thank you. I'm not going to even go there with that, but okay. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Critwork said her Hot Wheels are put away. People don't realize how valuable they are.
They don't.
When you come visit me,
they don't do that.
Cousin, I'm going to show you.
Don't you touch my Hot Wheels.
I'm going to put them back. This is a Lamborghini.
Yeah, I got all kinds of stuff. I be loving Hot Wheels.
A Lamborghini.
And you know, my young one, he want to open them up. He said we're gonna open them on.
We're gonna open all of them up on Christmas. So I told him, come Christmas time, we need to put them away because you'll be asleep and don't realize that he's opening all of the packages.
I hear you. Think I'm gonna hear that? Like,
no, but sometimes because you sleep 3-4 hours at a time, and then when your sleep deficit build up, sometimes you be out. You don't hear conversations. You don't hear. I would hear it.
Don't let him come in here opening my stuff.
TikTok is better than Amazon as long as you buy within TikTok shop. Girl, don't give me any recommendations.
I gotta go down in the streets of Mexico to get my Hot Wheels. I don't have the luxury of TikTok, but
Pancho got some good. He got great and they're low mintage, and he only shows them the low mintage.
So that tells you what you need to know, that I'm buying my Hot Wheels from a man named Pancho.
Yeah, Pancho's Toy Shop. That's where Tino get his toys from too. All right, now I'm a little concerned because we had almost 40 people in the room and we're down to 18.
Oh, that thing is moving around weird.
I ain't worried about it, but I just want to make sure that we're not covering topics you guys aren't interested in, but at the same time, they're topics to help you get that significant beneficial outcome that everybody wants in their life. A lot of people said they're inspired by the way we live. And this is why I tell y'all the real deal. It's not glamour, it's work. It's not luck, it's commitment. It is not, fabulousness. It is sacrifice and self-discipline. It's choices and trade-offs. And that's how most people establish their wealth, their legacy, their empires. Not the way they try to program it. We're trying to fight against the Real Housewives. We're trying to fight against Love and Hip Hop. We're trying to fight against the programming that large capital comes easy and it is to be squandered when you get it. So I just kind of, I've never seen it do that before, and I'm concerned.
That's okay.
But look, now it gives us the stats, which we didn't have before. So there's 3 people watching on our channel, 13 on the Gentleman of Crypto, nobody on Facebook, and nobody on Twitter.
All right, well, let's get into these
and
articles.
that is 16. So, all right, let's get into the articles, y'all. I can't share my screen. You're gonna do bricks first,
Yeah.
or you want to do remittances first? You should do bricks first. Let me just move this around for you. All right, y'all. Let's get into the watch list. I hope that my cousins have established watch lists, that they're working out the algorithms on their phone so that they are able to keep track on what is going on in our global world. All right. Soaring remittances to developing nations overtake foreign direct investment. That's interesting. The report finds money sent home by people who have migrated was 831 billion in 2022. It is up 650% since 2000. Wow.
So that's 6x, 6.5x since in 24 years.
Can you just double check for me? And it's on Twitter that you can see the screen.
Okay.
Remittances. I know, just double check for me now because I'm sharing the screen. Remittances sent home by people who have migrated abroad has outstripped foreign direct investment in developing nations for the first time, this news report has found. The International Organization for Migration found that international transfers increased from 650%, which was 128 billion, to 831 billion between the year 2000 and 2022. The growth continues despite predictions from many analysts that remittances would have decreased substantially because of COVID. Now, there's a huge factor in that, if they are able to see it. There's a huge factor in that. It's a nice picture in the window. The migrants in the United States, I'm going to use New York City right now for my New Yorkers. Shout out to the homies in NY. The migrants are paid up to $3,500 a month, the average payment being $1,400. And what they're doing is they're getting free resources from the United States, and they're sending the bulk of that money back to their home countries. When we talk about being taxed to death, even Cousin Shango had kind of mentioned it in a comment that he made, your taxes are going to take care of other people's families.
Yeah.
And this is why I'm heavy on the start sketching out your economic policy.
So I'm gonna jump in right there. I'm not gonna bang on the people for doing what they got to do.
No. But so know where your money's going.
Yeah. So they're gonna go there. But Bitcoin, if you take it from a Bitcoin standard, right? You guys could send money back home to any of these countries that we are speaking of, because she didn't get to name she didn't go into the top 5 countries of remittance pays, but the United States is one where they're sending back remittance to Mexico, places like Honduras, El Salvador, they're sending remittance back to India, places in Africa, Nigeria, Ghana. So remittance pays are being sent back and forth. And what you have is, of course, you guys know MoneyGram, Western Union, taking a large portion, more than they should. And so what Bitcoin was giving people was availability to send money home without getting taken advantage of.
Without you having to deal with the middleman.
Yeah. And so that's why you have to get people up onto Bitcoin, so that if I need to send you $1,000, I don't have to lose 150 of it trying to send it through Western Union, when I could just buy $1,000 worth of Bitcoin and send it to your wallet, and then you can do what you want to do. You can cash it out. You don't have to cash it all out. You cash a little bit out. You keep it here. You can do your thing, and that's why the Bitcoin education is so important in these countries.
So it says the sharp rise in remittances recorded by the World Bank and other data research by IOM underlines just how significant migration has become for poor countries. So your money is saying we're gonna hubby Cakes talked about the top countries, but your money that you work for is going to take care of these people in this other country, and you want to keep those things in mind. The report shows that in 2020, India, China, Mexico, the Philippines, and Egypt, in descending order, were the top 5 remittance recipient countries. Although India and China were well above the rest, the total inward remittances exceeding 831. Is it 800? I'm sorry, it's 83 billion. I kept saying 831. It's 83 billion and 59 billion respectively. But it is 831 total. It's just that India and China, 83 billion and 59 billion. If you don't sit down and sketch out your own economic policy, one will be sketched out for you.
Yes.
And that's what we're trying to avoid. If you're going to be your own bank, you got to be your own bank for real, right? We got a lot of people running around out here in what I call cosplay. They have all these great talking points, but they don't walk their talk.
This is true. It's true.
Or you have the counterpart where they have these great talking points, but they don't know how to implement those talking points. And that's why we're going to be trying to really implement our productivity points. So to help give you ideas and insights into the micro actions that you can take to get towards and work towards that great significant benefit.
And please, 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 you all, do me the greatest favor. These people who withhold information from you and will charge you and say, I have the keys or the tools to do this, you just have to pay me. Please stay away from them. It is so many people out here who are giving real information to the top level of CEO Michael Saylor, who is an actual, what is he?
He's an astrophysicist. He's a rocket scientist.
He's a rocket scientist. I'm sorry, he's not an astrophysicist. He's a rocket scientist, aeronautic engineer, PhD from MIT. Sits out here and gives you free information. Yes. Please do not pay people to get information. This information is free. We give freely of this information. Now, if you need some, personal and long stuff, then you might have to pay for it, something like that.
If it's something that's going to be long and tedious, I can understand compensating people for their time.
But it's hours and hours and hours on YouTube of free information. And you have to vet it. I get that. But please don't pay these people who say, hey, I can make your $1,000 be $10,000, all this weird stuff. Man, let them people go. Let them people go. They'll pop up in your DMs and they'll pop up on your social media feed. You gotta get them out of here, man. Stay with the people that you're down with. You don't need that many people. If you find some people that you down with, you respect what they speaking about, stay with them. Keep it like a tight. That's what I did. When I got into it, I said, there's a lot of people talking about it, but who really knows what they're talking about? And then you got to sit down and figure out who knows what they're talking about so you can pick out the people who are like, okay, I'm with them too. And I listen to what they say. And then I'll build mine from that. So, please, because I know everybody's out here hunting and everybody's out here looking for information. So,
and there's a lot of desperation.
If the right person catch you at the right time, man, they could, too many MLMs, I don't like MLMs. She hates MLMs. And if you want to read, I know they got long.
And your cousins will tell you whatever it was you were going to reach into your pocket and give us, we want you to start that emergency cash fund. We want you to use that and dollar cost average into Bitcoin, whatever that would have been. And that's how you know the real OGs, right? The ones who really care. We would rather see you dollar cost average that whatever you were going to give us, because we want to see you get those significant beneficials out. We're not out here to take anything from anyone. We want something, we work for it, we manifest it, we produce it, we create it, whatever word, whatever verb you want to use. We are here to see you guys thrive and not survive. Okay. Cousin Shango just said the school's overly politicized. Hold on. The schools overly politicized. I will say that as far as the curriculum adhering to topics no one cares about. Our kids can't compete on the world stage where STEM matters. We're going to talk about that in another show as well. So people,
go there. Hold on, because he had a comment above that.
he said they all tie into most of what's happening in the world. Speaking of remittances, that's fitting to be the U.S.'s main money plays.
Yeah. Oh, that's big, man. And you're right. That's going to be one of the things because, like you said, it's running up. It's becoming a big part of the GDP for the United States, right? Because these companies, Western Union, MoneyGram, and I'm sure there's more.
Yeah.
But they're making a lot of money,
TransferWise.
and they're U.S. based companies. So yes, that's indeed, you're definitely right about that. That's why Bitcoin is chopping. It's chopping into that. But we need more Bitcoin education because number one, a lot of remittance payments are being sent back to older people, so maybe they don't have the understanding on their side, right? So that makes it hard to do that. But once a generation or two washes out, it's a wrap. You can use remittance pays.
So people will have to work in foreign countries, most likely for the Bitcoin, and they'll be sending it to the U.S. to support old parents and young children. Ship Focus Digital said, "I love the show. It's different and free flowing." Thank you.
Shook ones, I don't know. I'm old. Never mind.
It's time for Shook Ones to put the babies to bed, but they're still tuned in. My little one is early here. It's only 6:00 here, so he in there tearing up his room. And Cousin Shango says, "That's the ice water down my shorts that keeps me grinding." I want to bring something to your attention too while we're watching this, right? And this is what we talk about, the analyzation that you need to do when you're looking at something. I want to go back to the report showing the top 5 countries. Then they mentioned India, right? Oh no, India's up there. Notice that the 2 top countries are
in the
BRICS natives, though, right? Not even BRICS Plus. They're the original members of BRICS.
Top 3.
So they are taking US dollars, sending it back to their country, getting it converted, while the country on the whole is dumping the US dollars.
But that's the next article. So let's bring up that next article because
which one is it? India?
Next article, India.
India, Nigeria.
India, Nigeria. What's the one before that?
Prepare for US dollar collapse. Do that one first.
India, Nigeria. We can talk about India, Nigeria because Nigeria is a top 20 market. People will act like if you go to Nigeria, it's a third world country. It is not. It is a first world country. There are third world parts of India, not India, Nigeria, but for the most part, they're making a lot of moves. So what you have to understand is this is a chess game at the highest level.
Yes.
It's also war. And the United States isn't stupid, I don't think. But they know what BRICS is doing. They know how they're building it out. Why would the United States just not be a part of BRICS? Why would they fight so hard and stay away from BRICS as you see what BRICS is doing with some of the largest countries? You're talking about Russia. You're talking about China. I mean, those 2 right there. And then you add India, right? Brazil is it's in the top 20. Mm-hmm. South Africa, top 20 in its GDP.
Yes.
And so you see what BRICS is doing. So let's go ahead and read on this BRICS.
So BRICS member India finalized a major trade partnership with Nigeria on Friday, switching away from the US dollar. Both countries will use local currencies in the bilateral trade agreements for energy, pharmaceutical, and transport sectors. So understand the amount of money that previously flowed into these major sectors. India and Nigeria have agreed to cooperate and settle trade in local currencies and not in the US dollar.
And that's the main thing. That's the main thing in the whole paragraph. They will settle trades in local currency, but not the US dollars. F the US dollars is what they're saying. And that's what they're telling you. They've probably been trying, I'm not a geopoliticalist as far as that goes. Mm-hmm. They've probably been trying to get something done with the US dollar, Nigeria, and that, and they're hammering down their, what was it, Naira?
Yeah.
So they say, hey, we'll just move around you now. We're dealing with this, and we don't have to worry about you.
And we're dumping the dollar so decisively that the local currency in question is yet to be finalized. It could either be the rupee or the naira. So we're so adamant about getting rid of the dollar that we don't know which one we're going to use yet, but we do know we're not going to use this.
Man, and that's what's up. And that's what's happening to you in the United States as you continue to receive your paycheck, however you make your money in the US dollar. See what is happening around the world and what they are doing to combat the US dollar. That's why we always bring up BRICS. I know it's boring and everything like that,
but it's so relevant to your
day
day-to-day activities of living.
It is.
Now, I want to read this sentence to you, and it's very important to just keep in the back of your mind the way they word this.
Okay.
The agreement comes at a time when BRICS is looking to uproot the US dollar as the world's reserve currency. Let me say that again. They want to, when you uproot something, I don't know if you guys ever had the pleasure of watching a tree be uprooted. Roots run deep. I know you guys have heard that.
Have you ever had it? You're talking about a root? Have you ever had a root canal? They're taking that tooth
and they're going all the way in your jaw
and pulling it all the way out the root, right?
But if you ever see tree roots, you guys, especially like New Yorkers, you'll know that trees grow so big, the roots are strong enough to like shift concrete, shift roofs, crack sidewalk, crack houses. Yeah. Right? But when they cut the tree down and they go to uproot the stump, sometimes the roots can be miles and miles and miles long into the earth. So when they use the term uproot the US dollar from the world's reserves currency, they are going into every crevice, every little place, anywhere that this greenback is being used to settle payments. They want to eliminate that. They don't want to reduce it. They want to eliminate it. You can consider that a death.
And what you're saying is we're going back. These are acts of war pretty much by Russia, China, and India together against the United States. Because if you go to collapse a nation state's currency, that is an act of war. And this is what they are doing. Now, it's not physical war, not boots on the ground, not yet.
But it's war nonetheless.
But it's war nonetheless. They are trying to destroy the U.S. dollar, the place where you guys live, the United States, the dollar that you're going to have to spend.
And it affects the expats in other countries as well.
Yeah, it does. And so, you have to understand that this is what's going on. That's why you have to not have a myopic view.
You got to expand your world lens. Yeah. And this is why your homework assignment on your next day off, you set a reminder for yourself, put it in your phone, however you remind yourself to do stuff, to start sketching out your economic policy in the days to come. Now here it says, read here to know how many sectors in the U.S. will be affected if BRICS ditches the dollar for trade, which it will. That's inevitable. So let's go ahead and click on that. And it says the 3 U.S. sectors to be affected if BRICS ditches the dollar. Now, we had already mentioned that it was energy, pharmaceutical, and transport. But let me see if they mention anything else. It will affect several financial sectors in the U.S., leading to a market decline. So there's going to be a contraction in the market in the coming years. If BRICS ditches the dollar for trade, the U.S. currency will return to the homeland, leading to hyperinflation in America. But let me put that in even more simpler terms. The U.S. currency will return to homeland worthless.
So what we talked about many, many shows ago, but check out the clue tapes, when we talked about the Trifflin dilemma, which is, it talks about being the world reserve currency, but the problem is you have to hollow out most of your companies in your country, and you have to send your dollars abroad so that they are readily available. So what she's talking about is once we're done with you being the world reserve currency, your dollars that you sent abroad come home
worthless.
Trifflin dilemma. Robert Trifflin, I believe, an Austrian economist. You check him out, Robert Trifflin. You'll see Trifflin dilemma. It's a good read. There's a book, but if you just read Wikipedia, you'll get enough information right there.
So we had mentioned the 3 sectors, but we're going to go a little bit deeper in this article. It says the sectors that could begin to decline include banking, foreign exchange, tourism, consumer goods, and production. Below are the 3 financial sectors that would be impacted if the US dollar is not used for settlements anymore. Now, this isn't an if anymore, right? And this is what I mean when I talk about the manipulation of propaganda. They keep saying if. We just read in the article before that they're decisive. They made their decision. We know we're not using this anymore.
Yeah, they're looking at CBDCs that they control through a basket of currencies. So that's what they are looking to do, and I think that's what they're already doing.
First and foremost, the banking and financial sector will be the hardest hit as foreign exchanges will begin to decline. The forex markets run on supply and demand. If the demand for the U.S. dips, the U.S. central bank will find it harder to import the dollar. It'd be like a Filipino peso, right? Like, where am I supposed to use this? If the central bank of BRICS countries don't accumulate the dollar, the U.S. will see its currency returning home. Moreover, the U.S. has been importing its inflation to other countries for years. And a return of the currency will lead to hyperinflation in the homeland. Notice that's the second time they've said that in this 2-minute article.
Yeah, and like you say, hyperinflation term thrown around loosely. We went over it last show, but we'll do it again. 50% inflation month over month is a definition of hyperinflation. It's the technical and financial definition, right?
Yes.
So 50% inflation month over month.
Okay. Secondly, the technology sector will take a hit as inflation in the U.S. leads to job losses. You guys know I work in tech. This is concerning. Additionally, multinational corporations have to shell out more money to keep businesses afloat and stay at the top without sinking. BRICS can bring down the U.S. economy if they stop accepting the dollar for payments. We know that they will stop accepting the dollar for payments. So you're looking at a huge economic winter here. Lastly, the everyday consumer goods in the retail sector will see prices skyrocketing. Inflation will take a grip on the markets, leading to prices of day-to-day commodities becoming expensive. Moreover, the Biden administration must act quickly. That is an oxymoron. The Biden administration acting quickly is an oxymoron to counter BRICS and stop the decline of the U.S. dollar.
But I don't know. I know somebody who said it was the corporations and it wasn't the Biden corporation. So I don't know. You tell me. I'm not a big political policy guy.
Don't get me started. G-Man, welcome to the show, G-Man. Thank you for joining.
What's
He's
up,
a
G-Man?
G too, so.
What's up, G-Man?
I used to call him G back in the day. I never did. Y'all know I call my honey by his last name. People think it's weird, but it just is. Cousin Shango said, piping hot freedom being delivered door to door across the world by Uncle Sugar's World Police. That's so funny. Is that from South Park? He also said, do y'all smell that? It smelled like BRICS is fiending for some democracy. You know they always say that, right? When they go to take something over.
Yeah, BRICS.
Certain leaders in parts of Africa and the Middle East tried veering away from the dollar, didn't end well, but here they are getting that significant beneficial outcome for them.
Yeah.
All right, babe. This one?
Go up. I thought it was a couple more comments.
Nope, that was it.
That was it. Okay.
Prepare for the U.S. dollar collapse. IMF warns.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, baby, go ahead.
No, go ahead, because everybody's saying it. Everybody's saying it.
According to a Russian IMF representative, BRICS is ready to offer an alternative to the U.S. dollar amid currency collapse, and the bloc must prepare for such an instance. The alliance, consisting of Russia, India, China, Brazil, South Africa, I don't know why they never put it in the order that it's an acronym. Why we never see it in the order that it come in? You know what I'm saying? Like they always list it this way, even though it's BRICS. You would think they would say Brazil, Russia, India. You know what I mean? China, South Africa. Anyway, It's a pet peeve. And supported nations has been working to abandon the US dollar for some time. The BRICS bloc is working to develop a new BRICS currency. We've talked about that. In an interview with RIA Novosti published on Friday, Russian IMF rep Alex Mosin noted that the shortcomings of the current financial system are becoming more apparent. Furthermore, he pointed out that many publications have started to mention BRICS as a group that will offer a successful alternative to the greenback. Such a proposal is being discussed. The director stated, in the event of the collapse of the dollar and the international monetary system, it will be necessary to turn the said BRICS accounting unit into a real currency backed by exchange goods. So notice that the currency that they are setting up is going to be backed by something tangible.
Yeah, and that's what people will tell you. It'd be a basket of currencies and or commodities. So that's something because gold is a commodity we all talk about all the time. And China and India, number one and number two. I'm sorry, I have them backwards, but India number one, China number two. So they're going to be partly gold in that basket, probably by the BRICS, fiat currency. Excuse me, y'all. And so you're talking about the yuan, you're talking about the real, you're talking about the rupee, and you're talking about the ruble. And the dinar, and what's the last one?
Did you say the rand?
The rand. So it's going to be a basket of that, supported with gold, and then turned into a CBDC. That's what the plan is. I don't know if it's going to come to fruition, but that's how they're working. That's the way they're working.
So the BRICS bloc has turned to what? Blockchain technology for its brand new payment system, according to reports. Indeed, its efforts have sought to build a competing currency built on digital assets. The US dollar is still a ways away from crashing altogether. However, the path is there for BRICS to do some damage. The greenback is still the global reserve, but a mounting US debt has ensured that it will not remain a fact forever. Furthermore, support around the BRICS bloc has grown over the past few years, with more countries likely to receive invites to join in 2024. With more support in numbers and in finances, BRICS could develop a strong contending currency to fight the US dollar. While it may not win right away, in the long term, the US currency's uncertainty will play a part in its downfall.
Yes, it will.
Did you have anything else?
No, just wanted to see what people had to say about it, if they had any comments or anything was pressing.
Nerd of Inc., thank you so much for joining us tonight. We're glad to see you, cousin. Cousin T said, did y'all know we're printing $1 trillion every 3 months? Yeah, I think we did an article on that.
We did an article, and then a friend of the show, Ricardo Hamilton, talked about it about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So then, every 90 days, you're getting 1 trillion printed.
So Cousin T said what's crazy is you can spend $1 million every day for over 2,300 years and still haven't spent $1 trillion. So how are you guys accomplishing that? It's mind-blowing.
Thank you. People do not know.
It's mind-blowing.
It drives me crazy. People don't know the size of these numbers. They throw them around. $1 trillion here, $1 trillion there. Yes, I'm glad you gave that example. Thank you for that example. It's ridiculous.
Case. Was there another one?
I don't know. Did y'all know?
3 US. We did that already.
Oh,
okay. And we did that already. You want to say this for another show?
What is it? Let me see.
The regulations. I think we should do that in a separate show.
I just want to make sure we got everything. Everybody cool in the comment room? You want to say anything?
The cousin Shango said the way out is simple. The US lets the US dollar collapse over a few decades, maybe about 50 years. They make the quick switch from dollars to Bitcoin, snatch up all the Bitcoin in exchanges, and the US remains on top.
Could happen.
That would be interesting.
It definitely could happen. That's a low time preference type of transaction. So
that's interesting.
It's low.
But he hopes he's wrong.
Yeah, I hope we're wrong. For our pros need, because we want them to come through and have a time
And all of the work that you do and trying to establish legacy for them, you don't want that to be in vain.
Yeah, so hopefully it's not that. I mean, we just came to you today to have the show about a few of these articles and some of the things you want to talk about. We could talk to the cows come home about some of this stuff.
Yeah.
And we just wanted to bring. We always like to bring something to you a few times a week. Right?
Yeah, we definitely, and we want to keep you guys encouraged. We want to keep you motivated. We want you feeling ambitious. We want you to feel in control. We want you to understand you do have options. It's just that if a beneficial outcome is your destination, right, and your car is basically the things you need to do to get there, obviously, the gas inside that car is going to be choices and trade-offs, consistency, commitment, discipline, right? It's going to be like a blended formula in order for your car to have the type of gas mileage you need to get those outcomes you want. But it's also analyzing your situation constantly, analyzing your current situation, examining what you would like. A lot of people don't have what they want because they weren't able to either articulate it or define it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you can't work towards the goal if you don't know what it looks like.
Yeah. And unfortunately, in great American poet.
Mm-hmm. Who knows?
By the time you can afford it,
car ain't important. But he also said visualize what it is and not what it isn't.
But you popping and the car ain't important.
So you definitely want to start, doing some productivity points. If you guys are doing other productive things, go and give yourself them points, right? Go ahead and allocate it. Anything that you write down, that's 1 point.
It's 1 point, and we see you as a content cousin. So for somebody like me, I guess Eastern Standard Time we're 2 hours behind. So understand where we are on a time zone scale. But I'm up in the morning at 4 in the morning. You can send an email like, "Hey, I'm getting my point in." I say, "Yeah, I'm getting my point in too."
Or
it's just accountability partners.
Mm-hmm.
I'm up working out 4 in the morning, lifting some weights, trying to keep my Thor arms in order. And as should you. For the men, I'm sorry, the women, I don't know what you're doing, like the butt lifts.
We gotta keep our booties around for y'all so you can keep looking at them.
Yeah, without doing the BBL, please.
No, without the BBL. Yeah. Absolutely without the BBL. But when you write a goal down, that's one step closer to executing it, right? It's like if you computer-wise, you're programming your software. And then when you actually execute it, it's executing the command. So write your goal down. And then every single time you execute that goal or you execute that command for my techies, you want to issue yourself some points, right? That's 3 points. Every day you do it, 3 points. And like I said, it sounds kind of mundane, sounds like a game I would probably play with Tino, but you would be shocked at the dopamine release you're going to have at the end of the month when you count your points up. You've been keeping track of them. Get a calendar out, get your agenda, whatever it is. They better not be looking for me. Whatever it is. And when you count it up and you see how many you have, you're going to get that rush of dopamine. Like, oh man, I got, 24 points. I got 30 points. I got 53 points, just depending on, how the numbers are allocating themselves out. And it's a rush of dopamine to your brain.
It is. And it's a great idea that she came up with. And hopefully that we can, interact with you all if you decide that it's something that you would like to do. And
I tell you what, chatters, when the cousins start putting in the chat, I got these many points, and then another cousin's like, I got this many points, and it is going to be a great kind of competition who has the most points. And you'll start to see everybody together collectively due to individual accomplishments, getting somewhere, up leveling. That is how you bring your family with you. It's not carrying them on your back. It's encouraging them so that they can work themselves up, but you guys can all grow together. And that's what community should be about.
Yeah, yes, indeed. I agree with everything that you just said. Branching off from that, our good brother T. Will said, "Can we get together once and do a Zoom?" Yes, we could.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. We just got to set it up and make it work, and that's it.
When you say a Zoom show, tell me what you mean though. Like a round table? Do you want us to meet with you? Want someone give me the details on what you like, and we'll make it happen.
Mm-hmm. Let us know. But yeah, it's definitely.
Cousin Shango has to go relax with his babies.
I got it.
We're letting you guys go to. I gotta go Tino's room if y'all say that.
Somebody give me something to eat. Right here.
Reggie's taking a nap, but I'll go get you something.
Okay.
I'll make you something to eat. But we love you guys. But Cousin T, you guys can go. Thank you so much for joining. Cousin Shook, it was Shook Digital Focus, and Cousin G-Man. Thank you for joining us, new cousins. We have adopted you. Hopefully you'll adopt us some point in the future. And we will see you guys on Saturday.
Hopefully.
But Cousin T will tell me what you'd like to do so we can put that together. I don't know, do you want to email me the details, or if you want to sketch it up right here? I'm going to wait until you let me know. We're an hour and 30 minutes into the show. It's May 8th, 8:34 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have 3 people watching from our channel. Thank you guys so much for supporting our channel. We have 16 people from the Gentleman of Crypto's YouTube, 20 people from the Gentleman of Crypto Twitter, and 2 people from our Twitter. So I'm getting there. No one from Facebook. That doesn't surprise me. My Facebook timeline for the streets. Yes. Now, T. Willine, do you want it just you, or you're saying do it on Zoom so all of the cousins or whatever cousins want to interact can? Tell me what you want, because we can do that right here where we are. But tell me if it was just you, if you like, I just wanted everyone. Yeah, we can do that on here. So next show, we'll have a segment where we'll put the guest link. How would I do that? I'm going to put the guest link in the drop down.
Yeah,
that way you can access it. Yeah. I'm going to put the guest link in the drop down, and any of the cousins who want to hop online, you will be on camera. Let me make that clear. You're going to be on camera. So if you want to interact with us, please know up front that you are going to be on camera. It is broadcast to almost 1,000 people once the show goes out for a couple weeks. So, but yes, Cousin T, we'll definitely do that on Saturday. We're going to go live Saturday, you guys. We'll definitely be here at 7 p.m. I'm going to send out the notification at around 6:30-ish. So that you can be prepared to join us and interact with us live.
Well, Saturday we're going to be going live at 12 noon, so 2 p.m. Eastern.
Why?
Because that's it's already scheduled out.
Is somebody going to be on there?
Maybe, but that's already scheduled out.
Okay, what time?
I guess 2 Eastern time.
I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't know that we were going to have somebody. Yeah, but if we're going to, okay. We'll make it work, right? We'll have a segment where the cousins can free flow talk to us, right?
Yeah.
Regardless if there's somebody on or not. But Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, get camera ready. Yeah. And we can't wait to meet some of you guys. Now, if any of you want to meet with us privately, just send me an email and we'll set that up too. It's up to y'all. We love y'all. We're going to see you Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a little bit out of our chain, but we'll keep you posted. And Mamba out.